Have you ever wondered what it takes to study in the land down under Australia? Well, you're not alone. Australia is a top-notch destination for students worldwide, offering a unique blend of high-quality education and an unparalleled lifestyle. But before you pack your bags and board that plane, there's something you need: a study visa. Studying in Australia is more than just attending classes. It's about experiencing a diverse culture, exploring the outback, and making lifelong friendships. However, the first step to this exciting journey is understanding the visa process. This video will provide an overview of what you need to know about obtaining a study visa for Australia. We'll delve into the eligibility criteria, walk you through the application process, discuss what happens after the application, and finally what to do once your visa is granted. So buckle up as we guide you through the process of obtaining a study visa for Australia. First things first, are you eligible to apply for an Australian study visa? Let's dive into the main eligibility criteria you'll need to meet. One of the primary requirements is being accepted into a course of study in Australia. This means you need to have an offer letter from an Australian educational institution for a full-time course registered on the Commonwealth Register of Institutions and Courses for Overseas Students. Next, you'll need to demonstrate your financial capacity. You must be able to prove that you can cover your tuition fees, living costs, and travel expenses. This could be through evidence of funds, a scholarship, or proof of a job. English proficiency is another key requirement. You're expected to have a certain level of English language skills. You'll typically need to take an English language test such as IELTS, TOEFL, or PTE, and achieve the score specified by your institution. Health and character requirements are also crucial. You need to be in good health, which may involve undergoing a health examination. As for character, you must be of good character, and this might involve a criminal history check. Lastly, you must have health insurance from an Australian provider, which is known as Overseas Student Health Cover. Remember, these are general requirements. Specific criteria might vary depending on your individual circumstances and the course you intend to study. Once you meet these criteria, you're on your way to applying for your visa. And remember, every step you take brings you closer to your dream of studying in Australia. Now that we've established eligibility, it's time to dive into the application process. Embarking on this journey may seem daunting, but fear not, we're here to guide you through every step of the way. First off, you'll need to create an IMI account. This online portal is your gateway to Australian visa applications. It is designed to be user-friendly and straightforward. You simply need to provide some basic information to get started. It's like setting up a social media account, but with a bit more gravitas. Once your IMI account is set up, you'll need to fill out the application form for a student visa. This form will ask you various questions about your personal details, your course of study, and your financial situation. It's crucial to answer these questions honestly and accurately. Remember, this is your ticket to an Australian education, so take your time and make sure everything is in order. Now let's talk about documents. The application process requires you to provide certain documents to support your claims. These may include proof of identity, proof of financial capacity, and evidence of your English language proficiency, amongst others. It's essential to have these documents ready and to hand when you start your application. Additionally, you'll be asked to provide a genuine temporary entrant (GTE) statement. This is your chance to convince the authorities that you genuinely intend to stay in Australia temporarily for study. It's not about fancy words or rhetoric, it's about sincerity and honesty. Lastly, there's the application fee. This is a non-refundable fee that you'll need to pay at the end of your application. It's the final step in the process, and once it's done, your application will be submitted for review. With your application submitted, you're one step closer to your Australian study adventure. Remember, the process may seem complex, but with careful preparation and a clear understanding of the steps, you'll be well on your way to achieving your academic dreams down under. Submitted your application? Great, but what happens next? Well, once you've submitted your application, the waiting game begins. But don't worry, your application doesn't just disappear into the ether. There are a series of steps that follow. One of the first things that may happen is a health check. The Australian government wants to ensure all incoming students are in good health. This will usually involve a standard medical examination, and possibly additional tests depending on your personal circumstances. So, keep an eye on your email for instructions on this. In some cases, you might be asked to attend an interview. Interviews are not always necessary, but if you are asked for one, it's a chance to show your genuine interest in studying in Australia, so take it seriously and prepare well. After these steps, your application will be in the review phase. This is when the immigration authorities consider all the information provided and make a decision about your visa. Now there are a few possible outcomes. Your visa could be granted, which is fantastic news, or it could be refused, which is obviously disappointing. But don't lose heart. You can always reapply or appeal the decision if you believe there's been a misunderstanding. So, what are the next steps? Well, if your visa is granted, you're all set to start your Australian adventure. If it's refused, consider seeking advice on how to improve your application or appeal the decision. Remember, patience is key. The decision may take a few weeks, but it's worth the wait. Scene script. Congratulations, your visa has been granted, but what comes next? Well, once you've taken a moment to let the good news sink in, it's time to get practical. First up, travel arrangements. Ensure your passport is up to date and book your flight well in advance to secure the best deal. Next, let's talk accommodation. If you've opted for on-campus housing, get in touch with your university to confirm move-in dates. If you're living off campus, start researching rentals, and consider arriving a few weeks early to settle in. Remember, your educational institution isn't just a place for study, it's a community. Most schools offer orientation programs to help you get your bearings, understand your academic responsibilities, and meet fellow students. And don't forget to stay in touch with your consulate or embassy. They can provide valuable assistance and information throughout your stay. With your visa in hand, you're all set to embark on your exciting study journey in Australia. As we wrap up, let's quickly recap what we've covered today. We started by discussing the eligibility criteria for a study visa to Australia, which includes having a confirmation of enrollment at an Australian institution, meeting English language proficiency requirements, and demonstrating genuine temporary entrant criteria. Then, we moved on to the application process, where we explored the steps of filling out the visa application form, gathering necessary documents, and payment of the visa application fee. After the application, we talked about the importance of staying patient while waiting for the decision, and how you can use this time to prepare for your journey. Finally, we touched upon what to do once your visa is granted, such as confirming your accommodation and arranging for your travel. Remember, studying in Australia is an exciting adventure waiting to happen. All it takes is a few steps and a bit of patience. Good luck.